Oh, hey folks, here we are at part 2 of this video I'm putting together on putting our raised beds inside of our hoop house. And so we are going to create a habitat for the earthworms because they're crucial to our growing system. So the first step is to moisten this soil. It's really hot in here. So I'm going to water all of the beds. This one we installed a couple weeks ago that already has the leaves on it. That needs to have water added to it. These I'm going to moisten, and then we're going to go collect some earthworms. We're going to release them in their new habitat, their new homes, and then we're going to supply them with a few inches of good chopped leaves. So let's get to work. Well, I got the beds watered down pretty good. Now I'm going to head over to the raised beds and we're going to harvest some worms. So I want to kind of give you a recap of what we've done here to date. All of these beds were covered last fall with a good 2 to 3 inches of chopped leaves that we harvested off our lawn. That was after we harvested all the plants, like everything we pulled up by the roots, and you know, the big woody stuff, the tomatoes, peppers, the bigger things that tend to not decompose real quickly. They went up into our just our compost bins. And then the more herbaceous stuff went into our rotating composters. So then once everything was harvested, we just covered them all with chopped leaves and put them to bed for the winter. And then as soon as the ground could be worked in April, I took the trusty digging fork and we turned all of those leaves that were on top into the soil and exposed soil to them. And that got those worms that were there just chomping away on those earthworms. And again, even in April, as soon as the ground thawed, it was amazing how many worms were already in there. So then this bed and this bed have had a second layer of leaves put on them since we turned the leaves in April. These two beds have had that second covering of leaves turned in, and we're letting the worms work on these because these are going to be direct seeded with things like beets and Swiss chard and carrots and that kind of thing. Now if we're going to be doing some transplants, we can just pull the leaves aside, put our transplants in, and then put the leaves back on as a mulch. This bed and these two all have potatoes in them. These are those purple majesties that I did the video on. And I bought 10 pounds of Pontiac Reds, red potatoes. So 5 pounds went into that one, and then 5 pounds into this one, which is of course way over planting, I think, but I think we can get away with it in raised beds. We'll see. So what I'm gonna do now is look for some worms. It is super windy today, and I know the clip-on microphone would really pick up the wind, and probably this one will too, but I'm going to do my best here to show you what I'm going to dig up here. They're nice soil moisture. Yeah, they're pretty much everywhere. I better go grab a bucket. So we have all sizes in here. And like I said, there are tons of the babies, and if I look closely, we'll see all those little newly hatched worms. I probably ended up with, a couple hundred earthworms, and then a couple good scoops of the soil from one of those beds that is just literally alive with young, either newly hatched worms or those that are juveniles, everything from a 1/4 inch long to an inch or so. It really is something. But this should be enough to establish a population, and I don't have high hopes for this year. This is not an immediate thing. When you're building a living soil, you have to expect it to take some time, but these worms work pretty darn fast. So I'm going to cover them. So what I did is I grabbed the mulching mower, just the walk behind mower, and I just went around the edge of the lawn where the leaves were up against the edge of the woods, and just grabbed four of the baggers full, and I threw them in the garden cart. So I'll put probably 2 of them on each of these newly installed raised beds. So everything I'm doing in here, I'll repeat over in the other one. But I want to get these things covered and get them watered in so they can get to work. One of the reasons I'm so gung-ho about getting these beds up and running is because I have to do something with these tomato plants. Now, if you remember back when I talked about using our bottom watering planters to start our seeds, well, the problem was I started them too early. So they grew like crazy, and they're pretty crowded in here, so I know they'll recover. They're going to be fine, but these tomatoes need to get somewhere. So I'm going to plant a bunch of them into this raised bed, and I'll probably even plant some in the ones that I'm just getting going today. Just see what happens. Okay, I know, this is ridiculousness. This is long overdue to get outside. The only thing keeping these things from breaking off and falling over is the curtain holding it up. Oh. Oh well. So once again, our bottom watering planters really work well for starting seeds and growing plants, but a person has to get them outside and not start them too early. Well, before this got any later, I just wanted to finish this video up, this part 2, on putting raised beds in our hoop houses. So this one, I got this one planted in tomatoes, and these were, pretty tall, so they don't look like much right now, but I planted them deep. I planted them probably 8 inches deep or so. So another advantage of these raised beds, how we do them anyways, is the soil is so loose that you can just stick your hand down and create a little hole and put your tomato plants in. So basically what we need to do now throughout the summer is check for moisture and check, keep the leaves on top. That's really it. And then we let the worms do the work. So the rain barrel's finally filled. We got an inch of rain, yippee. So with water in here, now all I need to do is, I like to use the watering can and just pull the leaves aside and just use your fingers, just stick them down there. There's plenty of moisture right now, so they really don't need anything. But as they do, we're just going to keep adding water and just try to get the moisture where you think worms are going to be happy. And we can check on them every once in a while and pull them apart, and I should see, if you look long enough, you can see babies moving around in there. Yeah, there's one. There's a baby. Now, I didn't plant the peppers yet. They're going to go over here, but it's supposed to be down in the 30s tomorrow night. And when they say mid-30s, there's a good chance it's going to freeze. That would be the last hurrah, I think. So even though they'd probably survive fine in the hoop house, why not wait a couple days? So as things progress here, I'll keep you posted. I hope tomorrow to build 2 more raised beds, 2 more of the cedar framed ones like I showed you in a previous video. And we have the plans available on our website, and anyone who cares to build them. And then I think I'll put together a video showing how I set raised beds on grass. You know, how I take up the sod and level them and all of that. That might be interesting for folks, because in here I just plopped them on the dirt, cut the landscape fabric out and plopped them in there. So until next time then, this is Mark again with Backwood Basics. So let's grow in a living soil together.